Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are and whenever you may watch this replay. I'm Sherry with Ratchet Up Your Art. If you're new to my lives, I am doing a live for 100 days for the 100 Day Project, where I go live every morning at 4:30 a.m. Central to do art and to teach to teach anything about, well, not anything about art, but to teach art and jelly printing and the different techniques, as well as collage jelly printing with my creating collages from jelly prints. Sorry, a little early this morning. Um, so for those of you who have been following along, I have I have a couple announcements, but before we get started on those announcements, this video is all about jelly printing today. And what if, sorry, just checking the comments. But anyway, what I was trying to say was what most people think that you need a bunch of colors to create jelly prints with. But what if I told you you just only need one, a shade, and a tint to create your jelly prints with? So, basically a monochromatic palette. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, I have a couple announcements for those that have been following me along. One, the prom flowers are done. So I will show pictures tomorrow on the what the prom flowers look like after we go and install them today. So I'm pretty excited. And two, I have an exciting launch that I'm doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do top down. I am so excited about this launch. Okay. So I am launching on May 19th. The doors will open for those of you who are on my priority list, and the links below in the description, a collection of artwork called the Conclave. And yes, it's very similar to what's going on, with getting a new pope. But the reason why a flock of cardinals is called the conclave is because it's the representation of the cardinals that go and elect the new pope. So that just happened to be coincidental. That it was not planned. And so those of you who had been following me along on the craft showdown has seen my cardinals. I did sneak peeks of my cardinals back in March and April. And so I will have 5 original pieces of artwork that will be for sale here pretty soon. May 19th, the doors will be open for the priority list. So if you're interested in getting on the priority list, I will be starting to show my cardinals throughout the next few weeks. Go ahead and get on the priority list. Those of you who are on the priority list will also have a special meet the artist, a gallery night. So that is definitely planned. And so I just wanted to share my new launch that's coming. I'm so excited. Anyway, so if you want to get a Sherry original, go ahead and get on that priority list. All right, with that, let's talk about a couple things. Prom, yeah. So my fingers right here, yeah. I got in a fight with a glue gun and the glue gun won. So I'm gonna try to do my best to jelly print today, but these are very painful and burnt very badly. So not gonna get into the gory details of that, but let's just say the glue gun won, and it was a very hot glue gun, like extremely hot. So with that, monochromatics. So we're going to work on the monochromatic, and we're going to use the cerulean blue, and then we're going to use the tint, which is white, and the shade, which is black. And so we're going to create our mono prints today with these colors. And then I'm going to use some regular stencils in our newfound tool. If you watched yesterday, our newfound tool, I thought that this would be a lot of fun. So the way I'm going to start this is putting a base layer coat on my 12 by 14 gel plate. Move these stencils out of my way here. And once I put then we'll go back in with a tint and go from there. I'm just hoping I don't get paint on my fingers. Just saying. Yeah, that would not be fun. Getting paint on my fingers is definitely right now is not a good thing. So all I did was just put the blue down, and then now we're just going to go in with the with putting the base down. So all right. So when we are talking about using monochromatic colors and limiting this color palette, this is definitely really helpful when we think about our lives and just slowing down and focusing on certain aspects, right? So, of course, I got some yellow in there. Well, so it's not going to be quite a mono print, but sorry, I just interrupted myself. But I go with the flow sometimes. All right, so we do have some yellow. Not going to be a mono print, but it's going to be close enough. All right, let's go ahead and add the blue and the white in here. But what I was trying to say was when you work with a single color, it helps you to slow down and focus on just those things that are important in your life. And it's not a lot of variety as far as like different colors are, right? So, when I think of using a lot of colors in my jelly prints, it's like a lot of variety, which is like a lot of variety, a metaphor for a lot of variety in your life. And focusing on just the things that matter or just one color, to use the analogy, will help you focus. So now we just did a little bit of white with the blue. So you still have this dark blue tint to it. But this time what I'm going to do, dark blue tint, light blue tint. Oh man, this morning's hard. I'm going to use the stencil. It looks like punchinella. When I created the stencil, I actually cut out the stencil. When I created it, I really like the repetition of all the dots. So now, hopefully in the future, I will have stencils that cover my entire jelly plate. But that's another topic for another day. And I want to cover these up here because I'm starting to get paint on my fingers. And that's not a good thing right now. I don't usually mind paint on my fingers, but today, maybe not such a good thing. Now, what I'm trying to do is just bring up the paint through the circles. Onto the blue the blue base color. All right. Let's see how we do here. Oh, nice. Okay, so you can kind of see a subtle print there. All right, let's go in, and of course, I love the second the oh, words are hard today. My apologies. I love the. I'm just turning down the light here just a minute so you can kind of see a little bit better. I love the second generation print that left behind, or the print that it left behind. All right, so this time we're going to go even lighter. So we're going to go with blue again and more white this time. So less blue, less blue. Well, that's a dab of blue, but here we go. And then we're going to go more white. And that's about the same amount. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. That's a lot of paint. So that'll be real exciting. Now, when you get too much paint on your plate, you can always roll it off into another gel plate. And I'm just mixing a little bit more, so you don't have these swirls of blue and white on the front of the plate. You get a bonus print over here because, oh, let's put that to the side. Because you rolled off your paint. Now I'm going to go back in with this one because I really wanted it to be a little bit more prominent. I wanted the color to be a little bit more prominent on here. So we're going to go back in. And we're going to try this print again. I really wanted a deeper, or more of a contrast. That's really the word I'm looking for. All right. I don't think I got the center as much as I would like. It's hard really with one, especially this finger. Just really pushing down on that finger is really hard because of where it's the burnt spot is. All right, let's see how we did this time. Oh, there's what I was looking for. So definitely we added some white, which is a tint, into the blue. And so now it's more prominent, which is what I was hoping for. Okay. Now let's do the reverse. What I call the reverse, where we're going to add more white and less blue. So we're going to go through another variation of the blue. That's even lighter. Okay. Let's see if that worked. I don't know. I feel like I need more white. 1 second. That blue is pretty strong. So just know that when you're working with some strong colors, like the blue, you will probably need more of the tint or the white. And see, that to me, yeah, that's almost like the same color. So I'm going to add a little bit more white. Oh, come on. Okay, I want to say that's definitely a lighter color. We'll find out. Probably not light enough, but it is what it is. And we're just going to roll with it. No pun intended. And this time, we're just going to take a plain piece of paper and see what happens. And then we'll go even lighter. All right, let's see if we can pull up the ghost print, what I would call the ghost print, or the second generation print. If not, that's okay. This is a good base layer for the next color. Oh, I think this is going to look cool. All right. Didn't quite get up all our prints, but that's all right. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yes. Love it. So our second generation print turned out really nice as well. So this is the reverse, or this what I call the second generation, because it was residue left on the plate, and then you have these. You see how these were the reverse of this one, and we did this one twice. Remember, so that's why you have circles within circles. It's a pretty cool base layer. I'll just say that. All right. Now, we want to go more white, less blue again. Now, I haven't gotten to the shades yet, so I don't know if I'll have time today to go through the shades, but again, monochromatic is adding a shade, which is black, or a tint, which is white, to one color, and then you get the multiple variations on that. So, little bitty blue, like, I don't know if you just saw how little that blue was. And a lot of white. So it's really light. So really the theory is, and color theory is, that you can make all your colors just on 3 basic colors, red, yellow, and blue, and then add your shades and your tints to it, and you should be able to get the colors that you like. Now, it's all about measurement and how much you use of one color versus the next, or multiple colors to create another color. So that's basic color theory right there. So in the next few lives, I like to do Gelli printing on the weekends. We can definitely go through some of those color theory techniques. Now, I'm going to add this one here, but I'm going to add some of the circles in between that we did. So this is going to dry just a little bit on the plate. Now this is a big pattern that I'm creating inside this stencil. However, we'll go back in with like bubble wrap or something to also emphasize that. This tool works really well once the paint starts getting tacky, which it's now starting to get tacky. I can see that. We may use the other stencil. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, here we go. We're starting to get tacky now. All right, now I really want to do something. I'm going to take my much loved jelly print. Bubble wrap. I want to, now that the paint's kind of tacky, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. This should pull off quite a bit. Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, we're going to leave the stencil on. And then I'm going to go even lighter with my blue. So just a tiny little bit. Oh, I don't know if that might have been too much. Ugh, hard to squeeze. Okay, come on. Need a little bit more white than that. All right. I don't want to keep using up all the white, so we may switch over to shades, but we're also running out of time. Oh, come on, Sherry. It's hard to mix when you have a... oh, this is going to need a little bit more white. It seems to be almost the same, so it's going to be hard to see that. So more white it is. My brayer's getting caught up on the stencil. Oh, no, no, no. Don't be caught up on my stencil. No, no. All right, here we go. Now, what we're going to do is, as soon as I find my paper, it's all mixed up over here. I am going to go ahead and pull this layer. And the white that is on the paper is going to be shown through. So we're using the white as a color that's on the paper. Okay. All right. Let's see how this turned out. Okay, well, you can't see it on the screen. Well, maybe you can. There's a little bit, you can't really see the bubble wrap that's on there. It was overpowered just a little bit, but there's some here. I don't know if you can see it. There's some here and some in here. Yeah, I can definitely see it as it dries. But this is one way of getting a monochromatic because you're using the white, the negative space. It's really positive space, okay? But I turned it into the negative space by making sure that the color was in the negative space and the positive space is white. So any case, so that's one of the prints there, but it didn't quite turn out like the circles that I was hoping for with this little tool that we used yesterday is not really present, but the definitely the bubble wrap is. So let's go on to, let's do one more and let's start darkening our shade. I want to do a base layer first. Let's see. Do I have? Nope. I have no paint left on there. Okay. So I'm just going to do a blue. I'll start with a plain old blue base layer. And now look at the color difference. This is blue and this is blue and white. A tiny bit of blue and a lot of white. And this is just plain old blue. So there's a huge difference there. And all right, here we go. Oh, Sherry, you put it on the wrong side. Well, that's just the way it's going to work today. When I use rice paper, I like to use the smooth side down, not the rough side. So this one's got the rough side down, which is a tooth. You know, it has a little bit of tooth to it. And the reason why I like it is because when you glue rice paper down, it has a tooth and it really adheres really nicely when you create your collages. So I guess we'll just figure that out. We'll just we'll just glue down the smooth side. I knew it as soon as I put it down. I did it wrong because you can't see it. You can only feel it. Yeah. I turned it upside down. I mean, I could print on the other side of the paper, but we're already here. You can see that it has a tooth because look at this. Look at the smoothness of this compared to the other one, right? So this one here is the smooth side down. This is the rough side. And as you can see, it's really rough as a print. And it left a rough residue here, which is good for a jelly print because you're adding texture, but that's not what the plan was. And sometimes you just have to roll with the plan. All right. Oh, that was too much blue. But when you're working with shades, a little black will go a long way. And so you do the same technique as we did with the white. Like that's a lot of black right there, but we'll see how it goes. The shades will darken your color really quickly. So you see how fast that just darkened the blue. I mean, that is just crazy. It's because the pigment, you know, it's black. So it's just really darkens it. Now I do like the color that it made, but I knew I put too much black down. I should have just done like like half of what I did. So anyway. All right. Let's use the stencil on here. I'm just trying to get the inside of the stencil down. Get a good print. Okay, so I called it a stencil. It's probably a mask. You know, check out that video that live where we talk, is it a mask or a stencil? So go check out that video. It's definitely a mask that we used. I tell you how I tell the difference between a stencil and a mask. But one can always argue, is it a stencil or is it a mask? And so that's what the video is about. All right. Moment of truth here. So there you go. There's the shade. And I just so disappointed that I used the wrong side because look at that blue. But anyway, it's a nice print still. And then here is the residue behind it. So we're going to leave that for another time. That will be fun to have for another print that you do. So we're going to leave that there. So with that, remember, you don't need to use a lot of colors to do jelly prints. You can have one color, a shade, and a tint. And it makes uh, various versions of the color, but as well as different jelly prints. You can use multiple colors there. And for those of you who are interested in my launch of my artwork, go get on the priority list. The link's below in the description. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video because it really helps with the algorithm and YouTube will push it out to more people. So if you feel like you've learned something from this live event, please go give it a like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment. Comments are huge for videos, whether it's mine or someone else's. Comments really help as well on the algorithm. But what I'm interested in knowing today is, are you going to try using monochromatic colors in your gel prints? And if so, what color are you going to use? I'm interested in knowing the color that you're going to use today. I use blue today, but I'll be interested to hear like where do people gravitate towards their colors and what they would try today. So comment below on the colors that you'll use. And with that, I will definitely see you tomorrow. And thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art. Have a great day.